What's up, you guys? Boom. Appreciate the claps. All right, you guys. I'm gonna try to keep it quick because I only got like 10 minutes. Some of you in here know me, some of you don't. But how many of you guys know that story about Michael Jordan that had flu-like symptoms during his 5th game of the finals in 1997, and he ended up scoring 38 points to make 90 points, and he won that game 90-88. You guys know that story? Any of you? Okay. So something really cool about that is Michael Jordan, he'll go down as one of the greatest of all times and already has. But what's really cool about it is he had flu-like symptoms. You all know that he didn't want to show up for that game, but it was really important for him to show up and show out and do the thing that he needed to do to be the leader and to ultimately come out as the GOAT, right? There's a difference between winners and then there's the difference between the greatest of all times. And the winners show up, they get it done, they do the things that need to be done, and they're still winning, and that's okay. But then there's the ones that are the GOATs, the greatest of all times. They show up, they show out, they do the things that the winners are not doing, and they're standing on top. And for those of you that don't know me, I build personal brands. And personal branding, not only has it changed my life, it's changed a lot of the people around me's life, because personal branding is how people view you and it's what they think about you when you're not in the room. And I think there's a common misconception with people where they believe that personal branding is social media, it's content creation, it's what you say on the internet and when people look you up, right? But it's just simply not the truth. Your personal brand is a reflection of you. Me standing here today talking to all of you is me building my personal brand. Even if there were no cameras in the room, if this didn't get posted on social media today, you guys will remember me, you'll talk about me, and I'm ultimately growing my personal brand just through standing here and leading you guys through personal branding. So I tell you all this because how many of you in here are posting content already? Put your hands up. Yeah? Okay, cool. And how many of you guys can confidently say that the majority of your business comes from your personal brand and social media? Yeah. So a lot of you guys, it looks like, are posting on social media, but it doesn't seem like you guys are getting the results that you're ultimately hoping for. Does that sound fair? Yeah. I think a lot of us put time into social media and a lot of us spend this time, effort, and energy to grow our personal brands. And we sit down and we spend all this time creating content for it to do nothing. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. I know because I did the same thing. I used to post content all the time. I used to put it out and I used to think that it was moving the needle. And sure, people watched me. It gave them a feel for who I was and what I was doing, but I was slacking. And I wasn't putting out the content that I knew was the best kind of content. It wasn't until I met this guy over here, Lawson, back there. He's filming for all of us, but it's really, really cool. He showed me that quality is greater than quantity, and it's true. I think we've heard all the time, right? We need to post daily. We need to get all this content out. But if you're just throwing content out there, people are going to watch that. And if it's not ultimately resonating with the objective that you're trying to achieve, if it's not leading them into your offer and into your business, well then, what's the purpose? Right? The ultimate goal of us spending all this time, effort, and energy on building our personal brands and crafting our personal brands is to create conversions in our business. We're all entrepreneurs in here. We all want new sales. We all want new opportunities. And if we're not, creating the quality content, it's like it leads back to that Michael Jordan story. Michael Jordan, he showed up and he showed out and he did the thing that he needed to do. Even when it was hard, he went above and beyond. He managed to score 38 points with flu-like symptoms. So I tell you this because when you're getting down and you're creating content, I want you all to be really, really intentional about it. Some of you guys might spend 5 hours on content and it's not doing anything for you in your business. I want you to double down and I want you to put 10 hours into the content. I want you to double down and I want you to share your story, share your personal brand, and ultimately go a step further. I know that it's easy to think that we're doing all that we can, but all that we can is not all that we can. There's always more that we have to give. And I know from my own personal experience today, I woke up with the food poisoning. I woke up with food poisoning. I thought I had the flu. I went to the doctor. I asked him, I said, what's going on? They said, yeah, buddy, unfortunately, it's just food poisoning. You'll be fine. It sucks, but it's how it is. If you guys don't know the story about Michael Jordan, it ended up that he didn't have the flu. He ate a pizza and he had food poisoning. And he felt like shit, but he still did it anyways. And so today, although I woke up this morning miserable, I did not want to show up. Or of course I wanted to be here, right? But I couldn't even hardly pull myself out of bed. I managed to get dressed up, put my outfit on, show up because I know how important it is for me to go the extra mile, not only within my business, but within my personal brand. And if you guys are all going to be putting out content and growing your personal brands, like David just talked about, leadership is king. You can't go on the internet and try to be a guide for these people in their lives if you're not showing up as a leader. And the best way to show up as a leader is to go that extra mile every single time. So I want to tell you guys a quick story. Last year, I started working with a guy, his name was Arturo. And Arturo had 900 followers on Instagram. He didn't have a very solid personal brand. He was putting out content all the time. But we locked in on his brand and we really started to hone in on things. Now, today, he sits with 150,000 followers. He's generating like 10 million views every single month on his business. And he did not have that for a year. It actually took us 10 months of consistency, 10 months of posting content, and 10 months of doing everything that we thought we could do. And then it clicked. One day we realized, no, actually we need to be going the extra mile, right? We're putting out content, we're putting out a lot, we're doing a lot, but a lot is not always right. Sometimes it's creating the right kind of content, doing the right kind of actions, like going up and speaking to people and being a leader in people's lives, or mentoring young entrepreneurs or people who may not have the funds, like just ultimately being the person that goes the extra mile in everything that you do. It's what's gonna set you apart in your personal brand. I know that some of you guys might have expected to come here and learn about content and learn about this and learn about that. But the truth is, we all know deep down, right? We have sales teams and maybe we're taking our own sales calls or whatever, but those sales calls are the same thing that we're trying to instill into our people. And so I run a coaching business, and just like Arturo, who runs a coaching business, this year, I decided to lean into my personal brand and start to take things to the next level. And although I worked with him for over a year, I helped him in creating the content, sharing his story, and putting it all out there. It wasn't until, like I said, 10 months in, we realized what we were doing wrong. It was to go that extra mile. So 3 months ago, I started to go all the way in on my personal brand. Now today, I took my profile from 2,000 followers to 20,000 organic followers. I'm getting about 500,000 views on my page every single month. And sure, it might not be the 10 million views like Arturo is getting, but it's made a massive impact in my business. So you see, the difference is I didn't go out and try to make more content. What I did is I leaned into a team. And I started getting people around me to help me take things to the next level and help me create that better content and step up and step out and be a leader and ultimately lean into what it's like to be a GOAT and not just a winner. I love that concept. It's like all of you guys in here are probably winners. How many of you guys are making money with your business? All of you, right? That's a win. And we can count these little wins and we can stack these little wins every day. But deep down, it's not about stacking those little wins. It's about coming out on top. How many of you guys just want to be like kind of at the top versus how many of you guys want to be at the top, right? How many of you guys want to be at the top? I would hope all of you, right? Because that's really what we do this for. If you're just showing up to do things with no real intention, if you're just like, yeah, I want to make money and I know that I need to be posting content, all of you know that you need to be posting content. And all of you just told me that when you post content, it's not really driving traffic to your business, right? So if I can give you guys anything, we've got like 3 minutes left. Please stop just putting out content. Stop getting on these podcasts and just having these conversations and then posting all the clips. It's not doing anything for you. You have to find ways to inspire, lead, stand out on top. If it seems hard, that means it's right. And if you're just quickly creating a piece of video or sitting down and trying to get things out as fast as possible, you're never gonna win, and you're damn sure not gonna be a GOAT. And I'm telling you guys this because I know with my own personal experience, literally in the last 3 months, we've managed to double our revenue inside of our business, all because, one, we're having more impactful conversations. Because these people, they're not just watching my content, my valueless content that was just there every day. They're watching my YouTube videos, they're watching my Instagram content, and they're actually able to take action from it, and they're actually able to feel something and feel inspired to do more. So whatever the industry that you're in, whatever the business model it is in, I want you guys to all step up and be that GOAT inside of your industry. Be the greatest of all time, or at least strive for that. Because if you're striving just to win, you're never gonna come out on top. But if you're striving to come out on top and you don't stop till you get there, you will win. And I'm gonna be the #1 personal brand consultant in my space. And I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know how quickly it's gonna happen, but I've baked this into my belief system. And so in knowing that I wanna be the greatest of all time, I move so much more swiftly. I move with so much more intention. The quality of which things I do, it's so much better than it's ever been before. Because rather than just wanting to win and get that quick check and work with these people, it's like, I'm showing up as the best version of myself every day here on stage, on Instagram, when I'm in rooms with people. Ultimately, if you guys can learn anything from today, it's that your personal brand is so much more of who you are and how people speak of you when you're not in the room versus your social presence. Now, it all reflects, right? If you come in here today and you stand around and you don't shake hands and you don't go introduce yourself to people, you're flopping at your personal brand. If you go out today and you keep making the same content and throwing random pieces of content out there with no real true intention, without trying to be the very, very best, you're gonna stay in the same spot that you are today. So hopefully this inspires you guys to go out. If you're making content now, I'm gonna encourage all of you that are already making content. For those of you that aren't making content, please just start. One of the hardest things to do is start. So I'm not gonna bash on all of you guys that haven't started, but I want you to start, right? Like truly, I want you to start. Now for those of you that have already started, that have already been putting out content, please, please, please just go that extra mile. Strive for the best, be the best, because it's ultimately gonna make a massive difference inside of your life and inside of your business. Thanks, guys.